Imagine waking up each day, not to the sound of a rooster's crow, but to the deafening noise of bombs. This is a reality for many in Palestine. Life in a conflict zone is an existence that many of us can barely comprehend. Picture this. Your morning coffee is interrupted by the shattering of glass, not from a clumsy drop, but from the shock waves of a distant explosion. The road to your workplace, once a mundane stretch of asphalt, is now a twisted labyrinth of rubble and debris. The infrastructure that we often take for granted crumbles under the relentless onslaught of violence. The once reliable flow of electricity becomes an unpredictable flicker, plunging homes into darkness without warning. Access to clean water, a fundamental human right, is often a luxury, with many families relying on rationed supplies that barely meet their needs. This is not just a war on land and buildings, it is a war on the human spirit. The psychological toll is immense. Children, who should be learning about the world in classrooms, are instead learning about the harsh realities of war. Their playgrounds are not filled with laughter and joy, but with the echoes of sirens and the chilling silence that follows an explosion. Yet it is not just the tangible effects of war that are felt. The impact ripples through every facet of life. The economy stutters and stalls as businesses shutter and jobs disappear. Education is disrupted, as schools turn into shelters and children swap textbooks for survival skills. To illustrate the gravity of the situation, consider this. 1 in 3 people in Gaza is affected by post-traumatic stress disorder. That's over 500,000 individuals, each with their own harrowing tale of survival. In the face of such adversity, you might wonder, how does one find the will to persevere? Resilience, a trait born out of necessity, a beacon of hope in the midst of chaos. This is more than just a buzzword. It is a testament to the indomitable spirit of individuals and communities under siege, who even in the face of unspeakable adversity, refuse to be broken. Let's take a moment to appreciate these stories of resilience, survival, and hope. We see it in the faces of children who, despite the upheavals around them, find joy in the simplest of things. We see it in the women who, despite losing their homes, relentlessly work towards rebuilding their lives. We see it in the elderly who, despite the destruction of their lifelong memories, still hold on to hope. Resilience is not a solitary journey. It is a collective effort of communities coming together, lending a hand where it's needed, sharing what little they have, and supporting each other through the darkest of times. It's the neighbor who opens their home to those displaced, the teacher who continues to educate amidst the rubble, the nurse who tirelessly tends to the wounded, day in and day out. We also see resilience in the work of local organizations, tirelessly providing essential services from food and water to medical aid and psychological support. They are the unsung heroes, the ones who brave the risks, who stand as pillars of strength for their communities. Yet, they are not alone in this struggle. International aid organizations also play a crucial role. They provide much-needed support, helping to address immediate needs and work towards long-term recovery. They bring with them not just resources, but also a message of solidarity, a reminder that the world is watching, that they are not forgotten. In the face of unparalleled adversity, the human spirit continues to shine through. It is a testament to the strength of the human spirit, to the power of resilience, to the enduring hope that even amidst the chaos, there can be, there must be, a better tomorrow. As we bear witness to these realities, the question that lingers is, what is being done on an international level? When it comes to the international response, it's a tapestry of concern, action, and complexity. Non-governmental organizations or NGOs and human rights organizations have been consistently engaged, offering aid and assistance to those most affected. They are the hands on deck, providing much-needed food, medical aid, and shelter to those disrupted by the violence. They also work tirelessly to document human rights abuses, bringing these issues to the world's attention and advocating for change. Yet the political and diplomatic stage is a different beast. Here, the response is a maze of complexities. Nations walk a tightrope of diplomacy, balancing geopolitical interests, alliances, and their own internal politics. It's a dance that sometimes leaves the needs of the affected people lost in the shuffle. But it's not all bleak. there are efforts being made to bring about change. The United Nations, for instance, has been at the forefront of the diplomatic efforts. It has passed numerous resolutions and established fact-finding missions, aiming to investigate and address human rights abuses. Yet the efficacy of these efforts often gets blunted due to political pushbacks. Moreover, international courts and tribunals have also stepped in, seeking to hold those responsible accountable for their actions. Yet, these institutions too face their own hurdles, including jurisdictional issues and the lack of enforcement mechanisms. In the midst of all this, one thing becomes abundantly clear. The international response is not a monolith. It's a multifaceted entity, reflecting the complexities of the world we live in. It's a struggle between the desire for peace and the realities of politics. It's a battle between the urgency of the now and the slow grind of diplomacy. While strides are being made, the journey towards peace is still a long one. The road is fraught with challenges, but every step taken, no matter how small, brings us closer to the dawn of a peaceful era, and that's a cause worth fighting for. You may be thousands of miles away, but your voice and actions have power. While it's true that the situation in Palestine may seem distant, the impact of your involvement can bridge that gap. There is much you can do, from the comfort of your own home or within your communities, to contribute to the cause and make a difference. Firstly, educate yourself. Knowledge is the cornerstone of action. Read about the history, the complexities, and the current events. Look beyond the headlines. Delve into books, articles, documentaries, and first-hand accounts. Understand the narratives, the perspectives, and the human stories behind the news. This will equip you with the necessary context to engage in meaningful conversations and make informed decisions. Secondly, raise awareness. Start conversations within your circles. Use your platforms, whether that's social media, a blog, a podcast, or simply a dinner table discussion. Share the knowledge you've gained, the stories you've read, and the realities you've come to understand. Use your voice to amplify the voices of those who often go unheard. Thirdly, consider donating to organizations working on the ground. These groups provide essential services like medical aid, food, shelter, and education to those affected by the conflict. Every dollar, every euro, every yen you give can make a tangible difference in someone's life. Lastly, advocate for peace. Contact your representatives, sign petitions, join protests. Stand against violence, injustice, and infringement of human rights. Encourage your leaders to do the same. Your voice, when combined with others, can become a powerful force for change. No act is too small. Whether it's sharing a post, making a donation, or sparking a conversation, each action contributes to a larger movement, a collective effort towards peace and justice. Remember, change begins with a single step. Take that step today. The situation in Palestine is not just a political issue, it's a human rights issue. A call to action isn't just a plea, it's an invitation to wield the power you hold as an individual, as part of a collective. It's about understanding the weight of the words you speak and the actions you take. Educate yourself. Delve into the depths of the issue beyond the headlines. Share this knowledge. Spark conversations that matter. Reach out to your representatives. Your voice echoing in the halls of power can influence policy and promote change. There are countless organizations tirelessly working on the ground in Palestine, extending hands of help amidst the chaos. Support them, be it through donations, volunteering, or amplifying their work. Because every bit of help, every bit of awareness, counts. Remember, change begins with you. Your voice matters. Use it to advocate for peace, justice, and human dignity.